Hi everybody, welcome to Jess Plays, a brand new secret game that you're just about to find out what it is. Wow, these are a lot of options for uh, languages. We could conceivably play it in Japanese if we really wanted to, but we're gonna leave it in English because I'm pretty sure that this game was originally developed in English, so, okay. Alright. So, welcome to Just Plays Bad End Theater. This is a game that I purchased a little while back. And it looked really fun. It looked very up my alley, very, Jess Place, as my girlfriend calls it. And, yeah, I wanted to play it. It seems like it has, like, the kind of aesthetic I like, too, in addition to the, kind of pathos that I like. So we'll see, how this is. I have no idea how long this game is. I don't really know much about what's going on with it aside what's going on in the page for the game. But this is gonna be a multi-part. I don't think I'm gonna finish it in one go. Also, FYI, I ordered some chicken for dinner, so that might get here. Apologies if you have to hear my doorbell at some point. Alright, let's get started. Welcome to Bad End Theater! On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You'll make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all to witness the lovely variety of tragic events. This is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, this is my shit. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. You are... the human doll or the demon doll? Why would you pick human when demon is an option? You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? I'm gonna attack it. You killed the human doll in cold blood. How ruthless. You found your very first bad ending. But don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. Okay, human. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? Let's play nice. Try to be friends this time, but the demon attacks and kills you. This is all because you chose to attack in the first round. Are the mechanics becoming clear? Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. Oh, interesting. But now you can turn each one on or off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now, try turning the doll's behavior on and off to see the different outcomes. Okay, so human doll, hostile, and demon doll is wicked. Okay, so let's turn this off, and let's turn you on. Okay, I'm gonna be demon doll. Okay. Play nice. You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you. End tutorial. Let's reset the stage. Okay, let's turn them both off. And this time I'll be this one. I'm curious because I suspect that the demon will still kill me, regardless. Oops. You kill the demon call in cold blood. How ruthless. Whoops. I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry, everybody. Whoops. Play nice. You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. End tutorial. Alright, cool. Do you understand how to play? Yeah, I think I get it. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show! Ooh, okay. Alright, so we can be hero, maiden, underling, or overlord. Oh, jeez. Who do we want to be? And there's 41 bad ends that we can get, I guess. 11 for hero and maiden, 10 for overlord, and 9 for underling. Oh, whoa, look at this. Oh, dang. Alright. Let's start with the hero. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped, and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But the demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Bravely slaughter or flee like a coward. Let's flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now, your reputation will be ruined! I wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all, this is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You're faced with the enemy of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Cut through the demon army, ask if they'll let you in. Okay. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero. Nice. Okay, let's reset. So we can choose either diplomatic or dutiful. Let's turn it off so we can choose some other things. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I don't mind going through and choosing different options and stuff like that. So let's kind of see. Actually, let me go over here and I want to see what. Ooh, okay. Please. Let's into the castle without issue. Overlord's room, everything is fine. Ah, so there's a bad end here. Oh, I got this one. He returns home, having accomplished nothing. Alright, cool. So I guess this is the true ending over here. This is interesting. This is fun. I like this. Okay. Alright, we're the hero. Yep. Alright, this time we're going full scorched earth. Okay, demon soldiers. We're gonna slaughter them. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. Let's cut through them. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world's much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after the other on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance. A convincing act, but you won't be fooled. Maiden isn't here? And what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord's almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world. But what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero. Okay, let's reset. Let's turn this off. Okay. So I'm gonna run the first time, and then I'm gonna try and fight them the second time, and I'm probably not gonna have enough XP. Flee like a coward. Okay, so here we go. Cut through demons. Gather your courage. This must be done. This This is what must be done in order to rescue the Maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing. Get straight to the point. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is the same one. Alright. Okay, failed hero. Okay. Let's reset. I have one more combination to try. Okay, demon blocks your path. Let's slaughter these ones. Okay, and then ask it to let you in. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. You can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier you haven't had the chance to watch off yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more XP for you. Okay. Okay, so I see. This is as far as I can go with the hero. Okay, cool. So then I'm gonna do... Okay, let's exit the theater. Alright, so we can choose dutiful or diplomatic. Prefers not to solve things through violence, slaughters all the demons. Alright, so we can do the Overlord now. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. I like her. She's one of my faves now. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is to just dethrone you. What's their deal, anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that? One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Let's grant them the day off. You tell them to take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You're awakened by one of your underlings. A hero wishes to speak to you. He inquires about a maiden who was rumored to be here, but you've never seen her. Humans don't visit here often, or ever, really. As the hero takes his leave, you wonder why he totally trusted you there. Heroes traditionally kill demons. This guy seemed like he was bad at his job, in your opinion. Whatever, you're still feeling sleepy, so you go right back to your nap. Ugh, one of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Assassinated Overlord. Alright, let's reset the sage. Okay, so we only really get a tyrant kind of thing. Get back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servant ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice comfy bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. Fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. You're wakened by one of your underlings. They brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. Tell him you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home, to your surprise. Figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. Try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay. Alright, let's reset the stage. So we've got Tyrant here. I'm gonna turn this off for right now. Since the Maiden hasn't shown up at all, we'll do her last, I guess. Let's do the Underling. You're a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break, so you decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice! You set out on your adventure outside the castle. Change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. Consider your options. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to have their own language? The maiden's going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. Ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. Being pretty lazy underling, of course you reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. We are doubting your commitment to Sparkle Motion, Underlord. This is pretty funny. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered and you already know how things like this end. It is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Faithful underling. Okay, let's reset. Okay, here we go. Let's go one more time with you. Surprisingly cool with it. You head out of the castle, blah 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 blah. Okay. We're gonna befriend her again. And then we're gonna betray... You tell him you were just joking, and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'll be to end up on the wrong side of things. If this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath that shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and will showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun? It's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree, and suggest that you play the assassin. You don't really want it to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. Sneak into the Overlord's room, just taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Okay, let's check it out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panicked whisker, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask to be again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed while your head is turned. The demons shut the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. Doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You're the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Cowardly underling. Okay. Man, there's a lot of choices in the underling story. Okay. Okay, so this time let's be disloyal, but not a coward. Okay, I'm gonna go through this. Figured the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you do just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anybody. You leave the room to find your friends waiting outside. They look pleased. Only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning. You're the new ruler of the castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that one day they'll betray you, just as you betrayed your Overlord. Lord Underling B. Okay, let's reset. Okay, we have so many choices. Alright, let's eat what's-her-face this time. Gobble her up. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you could live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought. You feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses, if they were around to see. Aw man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander to the nearby village. People are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think it's pretty rude of them. I haven't even done anything yet. You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running out toward you. And he takes you out in one swift blow. Just a demon underling after all. As he dies, you think, that was totally worth it. Curtain closes. Former underling end. Hell yeah. Okay. Alright, so I think the things that you choose only have to do with, like, what the other people do. Okay, we're gonna eat the maiden. And then we're gonna be like, cool, we're gonna leave. Figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they probably wouldn't appreciate the terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. Okay, friends wake you up. Planning a whole revolution. They're gonna give her to the current Overlord. They want to hear if you're in or out. times die. Okay. Alright. So we've done quite a bit of this stuff. Alright, let's do the Maiden run. You're a maiden! You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You're told that you're fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you're a beautiful young girl. The demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone. Maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You're in the church. You pray to your god, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it all is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. You yell, but a hero doesn't come. The demon is put off by your sudden shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused than hostile, which totally catches you off guard. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell him that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what she should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like a complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but you're really just trying to live your lives same as you. You feel like they're starting to understand things a lot better. Maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kinda like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept it to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. I mean, I ship it. As you think that, the hero enters a room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read that note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the village with him and give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon! You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something's off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle's engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door's shut tight. The handle's too hot to the touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. Smoke is too thick, you can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't gotten much time left now. You desperately head toward the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke! A maiden saving the Overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless Maiden End B. Yeah, I totally ship the Maiden and the Tyrant. I think that's great. Okay, so we're gonna be polite to, the underling. Gives me real, what's her name? Courtney vibes. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to really be listening. Okay, so when it comes, she squints at you. Okay, well, there's my, my chicken is too hot to touch. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Okay, we go back, we see the... Okay, this is probably the same ending. Selfless Maiden. Okay. Let's reset the stage. Alright, this time we're gonna make the Overlord a Tyrant. And we're gonna play as the underling, because we shouldn't even be able to leave. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. I agree she's kind of a snob and totally deserved to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her! It's not. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You were actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably and there's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. Okay. Okay. Come back. Okay. The Overlord asked where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you might be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mentioned how you couldn't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, "That was a joke, of course." She smiles and dismisses you, and you decide it's time for a nap. Okay, let's do this so that we end first. Faithful underling end. Okay, reset. What if we do dutiful? And we do the Overlord. You awake to a knock at your door. You awake to a knock at your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. Maiden then goes on to say she's been getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her that you never had any plans of capturing any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Let's tell her to go home for right now. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. But the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want her to leave in case anything bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You're glad she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans so as to not agitate them and get heroes sent after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We're very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. People in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of a battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her that it's only your underlings roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. He shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn around your castle has really taken it out of you. The hero did this? There's so much blood! Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing. But you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You've had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Wrathful Overlord. Nice. Okay. So we have antisocial. What if we have diplomatic? Okay. Okay, let's... You thought you had told that underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room, but it looks like they took an unauthorized break away from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say she's been getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. Okay, uh-huh. We're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all! I wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses relief that his whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take the maiden away from you. Ooh, possessive. Maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. Maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe the demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. Destroy the hero before ye can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Selfish Overlord. Nice. Alright, okay. I think I'm gonna stop it here for right now. We've got 10 of the 41 endings. We've got quite a few. We're most of the way along, along the underling. So antisocial, diplomatic, possessive. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Next time we'll spend some time doing some stuff here. Diplomatic. Beautiful. Possessive. This is the not possessive one. Disloyal. Okay. So yeah, we'll figure some of this out next week when we play a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed Bad Theater so far. It's a really neat little game. Like I said, it's got a bunch of pathos, and also you have a hot demon lord lady and a maiden kind of flirting, which I'm down for, obviously. But yeah, just to let you guys know, later this week, Nate and I are going to be going down to Osaka for a couple days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time, and yeah, it'll be great. So, hope you guys have a nice week. We'll see you when we all get back. We'll be back at the weekend. It's not really that big of a deal. And yeah, so have a great week. Take care of yourself, and bye, everybody!